So if you've listened to any sort of climate news, you've probably heard some talk about a warming of 1.5 or 2 degrees Celsius. And logically, with this, you might have thought, that seems pretty small, so why does it even matter? And before we fully answer that, I think it's really important for us to be super clear on what these numbers actually mean. At its most basic level, those numbers represent an average warming of the entire planet. But there's also a couple nuances to them. First being that these averages are long-term, rather than an average over just a year or just a month or just a day. Second, these numbers are typically in reference to a warming that we could reach in the future if we don't act in certain ways to prevent it now. And the third is that the language, not the math, of simply saying 1.5 to 2 degrees Celsius doesn't account for things such as extreme temperatures or heat waves or even regional differences, such as how the Arctic is warming 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. Which is why relying on this statistic might sometimes feel like it falls short of painting the whole picture. And now that we've got that, now we can talk about why those specific numbers matter. And the first is that these are the numbers used in the Paris Agreement, which is the international climate treaty between almost every country on the planet, and states a goal to limit warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius, or with strong efforts to limit to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Second, the reason why these numbers were even chosen as the goal limits is because of key insights provided by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change that an average global increase of 1.5 C strongly increases both the magnitude and the likelihood of the risks like sea level rise, or wildfires, or major storms, extreme heat, and so on. And it's also likely that passing these thresholds might put us in the position where we are now creating irreversible environmental changes. And to share a little bit of an extreme example, the difference between 1.5 and 2C, and especially anything worse, could be the difference of whether some small island nations even continue to exist or not. And the last quick point that I just want to address is that, to some extent, certain impacts are already happening and are going to continue to happen. But despite that, reducing warming as much as possible is still crucial because it slows down the impact, meaning that we give ourselves more time to adapt. As always, please leave us any comments or questions that you have about climate change, anything and everything. We're here to answer all of it. We are O Shift Climate Talks, here to help you figure the shift out together.